Hi guys, my name's Sam Court and I'm a sports therapist here in the UK, and I needed to share my birthday t-shirt. Anyway, pretty cool, huh? Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about activation. Stretching, exercising, moving, they are all positive things, they are all good things, and the body needs it. But we need to be a little bit more specific about activation. Activation tends to, in my opinion, and many people that I have spoken to, really helps if we have an ongoing niggle, an ongoing irritation. You can put your finger on it, you know where it is, and it kind of just follows you. You've stretched, you've been to see people, and they may have given you exercises, but this is a long-term thing, and it doesn't mean that it has to be a nuisance, an annoying part of your day-to-day, but it is something that you need to embrace and take into a routine that you might have. So for me personally, my left shoulder is my lesser strong side, so I'm right dominant. So my left shoulder is the one that gets irritated, and it's the one that can quite easily let me down. So I can stretch it, I can move it, but activating it is what helps massively. And I just want to take a moment to explain and give you some examples. Following this, I am going to go through a routine which is me in my garden just activating the shoulder. So I know that my left shoulder is prone to be a little more forward than my right. I know that my shoulder doesn't glide as well as my right shoulder blade, and that's something that I need to work on and something that I'm ever addressing. I can hold myself in a set position and it gives me a sense of relief, but it's not natural to hold yourself in a set position. All right, we need to move. So this is where it comes into activation. So I use a hand weight. I use a weight of probably 2 kilo, 3 kilo, and I use it because I need those muscles in that area to do their job. It's all very well stretching out my chest wall and stretching my arm into the air. These are good things, but they're very short based. So in the video after this, you will see me going through a range of movements. You'll hear my voice over the top of the video explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'd like you to consider either trying some of the things I do in the video, or maybe this helps, but we really need to be key on activation rather than stretching. Resting is an important part, but if you have a long-term irritation and you've been told that you need to rest it, how long do you rest something for? And it's not going to sort the problem out. It basically is removing the issue because you're resting that area. And when you start moving again and start exercising again, it's going to come back. So activation. If my shoulder is prone to be a little bit more forward, then when I'm in the gym, I need to be doing cable pulls. So I'm activating those muscles to be stronger in the movement. So therefore, when I'm not using the shoulder, it will sit better, it will relax better, and it knows the difference of when it's being used and when it's not. So I've got that. In the video after this, you will see me doing various movements using a weight. The weight is important because you are challenging your muscles. If muscles do not get challenged and they remain dormant, then they are not going to get stimulated and they are not actively going to do their job. These are really key points. So in the gym, I could use the cable, I could use the rowing machine, I could do a seated row pull. These are the things that I know to pull the shoulder back, to bring that arrangement that I want, the behavior that I want. So I'm getting stronger going through this movement, that when I then sit and be still watching the TV or listening to somebody or having dinner, driving, I know that I've actively brought that back. The other thing about the shoulder, although it's an independent area, we are all connected to various things. We also need to be looking at the behavior of our upper spine. I am notorious for being very tight in the thoracic. So from here, this part of the spine, I can be really easily tight in there. So again, it's me going through routines of knowing that after I've activated something, to stretch as well. Not so much the muscle that I've activated, but the set of muscles that are paired with that activation. So stretching them out and making sure that you get this lovely relationship between partnered muscles. So the routine I'm going through, have a look at it, try some of them out, but it is really important that we understand the importance of activation over stretching, resting, and general movement. Exercise is activating, but we need to make sure that those exercises are particular to your need. Lower back issues, we get to the point where we get quite scared of using the lower back. I appreciate that, and we do need to allow the lower back, if it's irritated, to calm down, but we shouldn't be scared of the behavior in the pelvis. So can you use your pelvis? Does it hurt to articulate your pelvis from anterior to posterior? If you've got issues with the upper shoulders and the neck, have we got to the point where we are so scared of doing anything that we are just literally freezing it out? Frozen shoulder for me is a term that kind of makes me feel rather sad, because frozen shoulder is a term of something's going on, but we're not quite sure what. Frozen shoulder is a term used instead of telling you you've irritated this muscle or you're doing this action. Biomechanics and activation and understanding what muscles do is key to understanding your body and reducing pain. So I really hope that what I have spoken about, although rather generic, I hope it has triggered off a thought in your mind. The video that you're going to see now with me in the garden doing some activities, try some of them out. Give us some feedback and let me know if I can help more particular in other areas. Take care, guys. I'm Sam, and hopefully hear from you soon. So I had to share my t-shirt again, but here I am. So I've got a weight here of between 3 and 4 kilos. I'm slowly lifting and activating my shoulder blade by pushing it up into the air. Activation is different to exercises in the sense that you keep the numbers small. You want to activate the muscles to do what you want them to do, but you are not looking to fatigue the muscles, because activation is encouraging good behavior, and it's encouraging behavior that you want. So if you start fatiguing them too soon, then you are going to confuse them. So I've gone from a single hand shoulder press now into a tricep press. I'm now going for a double overhead and working now on the triceps themselves. So I'm activating the back of my arms. All of these things are connected. So I started on my left, I went to my right, I've gone to both, and now this is another idea where I'm using the upper and lower to really engage my spine as well as my arms. I'm also engaging the core It is very difficult not to when I'm doing this double activation. I've now gone into a single leg hold whilst activating the upper body. I change over and again working the upper body. I am focused on the tricep area at the moment for myself. However, moving on now, you will see that I am slowing down the motion, isolating the core, and trying to get a true behavior through my upper spine. Turning round for you now, you can see shoulder blades are gliding, looking rather even here. You can see that the muscles in the lower part of my back are starting to become prominent. And once again, like earlier, I've gone back to the single arm. So I'm on my left arm, my problematic side. This is where, again, I'm using small numbers and activating the range. So now I'm using my dominant side. Keeping the numbers to 4 or 5 movements. And believe me, I can feel what I'm asking these muscles to do. I've now gone for the upper and lower body activation. So now I'm creating instability in order to gain stability. These are ideas that you might want to try. Here, this is activating my thoracic spine, my upper spine. From the side perspective, I'm pulling back and I'm coming through. So I'm getting into the traps as well. There are many, many muscles that are involved in the shoulder. I could go through a list, but right now I want you to just see the different range of movements that I'm looking to work through. I'm using a weight. So if you have any specific stretches that you like to do, then consider adding a weight. I'm working through the movement through the chest, the movement through the shoulder, the rib cage, and it's all coming through the chain. So I've now moved to a more fluid action, but I'm still having to use that sense of control because momentum isn't always best. Activation needs to be done steadily, progressively. So if you feel that this can help, if you feel that this is something you might want to try, then consider following the activities in the video. Here, I'm using my arms, pretending that they're going behind a door frame. I can feel clunking and dunking. I'm not afraid of that because it's the movement that I want. Again, here, I'm activating the thoracic spine. I'm currently focused on a few things, using the gym, being active outside, increasing my strength, but it all stems from the same place. Having a good understanding of the body, understanding what works with what, and playing around with good practice. I do hope this video has helped. If you like it, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and comment below to whether you need any specific ideas or whether you need any help with anything that I've spoken about in the video. My name's Sam. I'm a sports therapist here in the UK, and this is my upper body activation. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to move, stretch, and enjoy what your body tells you.